Erica Gillis, and welcome to One Step Beyond You podcast, home of motivation and inspiration. Each week we have different guests on here that will motivate you and inspire you into the next level of your life. Please join me in welcoming my next guest. He's a financial consultant of Globadigm. Let's welcome Nana Akua. Hi, Nana.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to have you here on our podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I always like to start by telling people how we met. Can you tell everyone how we met?
Well, we met at the Get Motivated Detroit seminar. I guess it was a conference. I don't know how to call it. But I remember we had a meeting with Les Brown in the morning before the event actually started, and that was where we first met. And so we didn't have too much time with Les Brown. We talked a little bit, and then I think through the event we met a few times and we started talking, and I started asking questions, and that's how we got to know each other.
Right.
So it was at a Get Motivated Detroit.
Right. So we was getting motivated.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was a business seminar. I just thought it was a seminar to go get motivated. And originally we were supposed to meet the guy from Shark Tank. That was part of our package.
That was one of the reasons why I actually went.
To meet Robert.
Yeah.
That's what it was, Robert. And prior to going, I kept telling everybody, I'm going to meet Les Brown. I'm going to take a picture with Les Brown. I know he's not on our itinerary, but it's like I spoke it and it happened. And so I was so happy to meet him and take pictures with him. So that's why I have my picture of Les Brown.
Yes, that was actually... No, I remember I took the moment I took the picture, I sent it to my wife because I didn't know we were going to meet Les Brown that morning.
Yeah.
And so that was a great surprise. So that made it worth it.
And what did she say?
She was actually surprised. She was really excited. She's like, "Oh wow!" Because I had that picture early in the morning, and so she was really pleased. That, and that was beautiful. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say: the early bird gets the worm. So.
Yeah. So I haven't done anything yet with that picture, but yeah. Okay. I have a few people that I've been privileged to meet that I'm going to maybe start doing something with the pictures.
Right now, is he the only one that you took a picture with, or did you take a picture with the other people that were there?
For Get Motivated, he's the only one I did take. And Barry Sanders.
Okay.
I took a picture of Barry Sanders too.
Yeah, so did I. But I didn't post it on my social media because Barry Sanders is not who I spoke into. What is the word? Into existence. And so I'm glad that I met him. However, Les Brown was far more important to me than any of the other people that was there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I took pictures with the guy from Flip That House, Armando Montalago. Okay. So I have pictures with him. And what I love is the imitation George Bush.
He actually got me thinking.
Yes.
I saw him the first time.
Yes.
But I knew it's impossible for the former president to be in a place like that without
security.
Yeah, so he got me thinking, which was pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, but one of the things about him that caught my attention, and I have pictures to prove it. After we took our one picture and I'm trying to walk away from him, he grabbed my arm and wouldn't let my arm go, and he kept looking at me and he kept saying, "It's just something about you. It's a presence about you." And I was like, "Thank you." And he kept saying, "You're going to really go far. It's a presence about you." And I was like, "Wow." And I believe when people talk to me like that, I take it as a sign of God talking to me through other people, because it happens to me all the time. And when they say something, it actually happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I'm on the train there.
That's right. Stick with me. We're gonna go far together.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So I brought you on here so we can talk about what you do, and we can learn a little bit about you first before we talk about what it is that you do.
Awesome.
So tell us, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. Came here to the United States in 2008.
Okay.
January, we went through a few other states and then finally landed here in Michigan, I think August 2008. Okay. And I've been here since then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you like it here?
It's good. It's a great place. When I came here, the focus was to go through school, to get through school. After school, my job, getting a job in the same area, and then getting married, raising a family. I have a sister here. It felt right, so I just didn't move.
Okay.
Yes.
So was your wife from here, or she's from Ghana?
She is also originally from Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we've known each other since we were kids.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
I'm gonna give me a husband one day. No. I'm just playing. Please don't inbox me because I'm really not looking for one. Okay, but
that was just a great way to be married to somebody that you've known for a long time.
Yes.
Her older brother, who was my classmate, is also a good friend of mine. So it's good to be in that circle.
Yeah, that's good, because I read a saying on Facebook today. It says, "You don't fall in love; love is built."
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Actually, my personal philosophy in marriage is love is as much your will as it is your emotion. So if you will to love somebody, you can. And that tells me that to be able to love my wife, I have to work on her, because it's a will. It's something I'm choosing to do.
Yes.
And so, I agree with that statement.
That's all right. All right, y'all. We got a good brother here, okay? They all not lost.
Yeah.
So you come from a big family.
Yes.
So tell me, how big is your family?
So it's relative, right? But I come from a really large family. One, because in Ghana, we practice the extended family system beyond what America does. So like I grew up with a lot of my cousins and my nephews, some of them very distant, but we are all one, and it's like a community kind of lifestyle.
Yes.
So anybody, your aunties, your great aunties, all of them have a direct responsibility for your well-being. So you kind of feel like you belong to just not your parents, but but more so. Even in my nuclear family, there's 7 of us.
Okay.
So that's quite big. So and there's 3 boys and 4 girls.
3 boys and 4 girls.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the oldest is a girl, then the 3 boys and 3 girls.
Oh, so she had to take care of all y'all. Oh, wow.
Yeah, she did good job.
Yes. And so the family, are everybody entrepreneurs such as yourself, or?
That's a good question. My dad is definitely an entrepreneur. My sister, she's a nurse. She's right here in Michigan. Her whole family are nurses. Her and her husband. My mother was a nurse, but my dad was an entrepreneur. My younger siblings, because I'm the second one.
Okay.
So my younger siblings, so some of them are going through school right now. We don't know where they will turn when they're out. So we'll see how that plays out, but I think I can see 1 or 2 entrepreneurs in there too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so back in Ghana, you started going to college there. What was the name of the college, and what were you studying there?
So I started studying economics, right, back in Ghana. The name of the school, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So I started doing economics in Ghana. And then when I came here in 2008, like I said, I came here to work. I studied the system, and I realized I wanted to transfer here.
Yes.
So I transferred to Saginaw Valley through a friend of mine. He actually hosted me when I came here.
Oh.
So he recommended Saginaw Valley. I applied, I came, I loved it. So I did my bachelor's in economics there. I had to start all over again. But I did my bachelor's and I did my master's and an MBA in finance, and I did a professional accountancy program too.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you're a smart man.
Well, so what I say is, I don't think if I'm smart at all, I don't think it's because of the degrees, because I think anybody can do that. I really think sometimes it's overrated in terms of degree.
Yes.
I would call it smart when you are able to actually make something of yourself with that degree.
Okay.
And that is when because the degree is pretty much just answering questions, and if you are disciplined, you make it through.
Yeah, because a lot of people do have degrees and do not have jobs. They're sitting at home with their nice little bachelor's degree, eating bonbons and watching the news. So yeah, I totally get it. But you said you were hosted, so you had a host family or person that you stayed with when you came here, or what did you?
So my story coming to America is a whole new. It's a whole hour podcast.
Oh, okay, okay.
But no, when I was coming, I didn't even know anybody here. It's through act of God that I got one person to host me in New York. They were from Ghana. Ghanaians are mostly hospitable. Okay. Generally, so naturally, when I come to a place like this, and I meet other Ghanaians, I know I can get help if I need to. And that is something that you are, at a high level, you are guaranteed that if you meet another Ghanaian. And so that level of hospitality really helps us whenever we travel. And so the person that hosted me in New York, in Baltimore, I didn't know New York. I didn't know them. I had never met them. They just brought me to their home and I stayed with them for, I think, 3 months each. So, so I call it act of God. It's just by God's grace, purely. But also, it's something that, Ghanaians are known to do. Right. Because I have seen that even as I've lived here, where my wife and I have hosted others, where we've seen other people host people that are just coming. They just call and say, oh, I have this person coming to US, they don't know anybody, can you? And then so these are people these are not family members or not even people you know before. They are just people out of nowhere. Right, well, because I am going to do a podcast on host family, because I've been a host mom for 4 years. Wow. And I host Asian children that come here from China. And so that's kind of how I got started. My daughter speaks fluent Chinese. Wow. And so I involved her in the school system that has Chinese as a second language, because most school districts just offer Spanish. Yeah. And when we came into the Lance Cruz School District, this is what they offer. However, they had a program that you can go to China for 6 weeks, or you can go for the summer. And when she applied for the summer program, she said, well, Mom, you said it yourself. If you want me to stop saying and I need to go there for at least a year so that I can speak fluently. So she talked me into it. However, she also talked me into being a host mom, but yet she left me. And so she ended up in Taiwan, and I end up in America taking care of Chinese kids. Nobody was in the house with me last year. Jalen wasn't here. He was in Connecticut with his dad. And Kulante, which is the oldest, he lived in his own apartment at the time. So it was just me and Jason, and which was cool, but at the end of the year, I asked him, what would you have liked to change different? He said, I would have liked to have a sibling in the house or a friend. And I was like, oh, okay. But he was pretty independent, but I love him to death. We still talk. He's at college in Ohio. He comes home for Thanksgiving and the holidays. I love him to death. But altogether, I think I hosted about 6 kids. Oh, and that's impressive.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But I did it. Yeah, and so the gentleman that was over the program, I spoke with him today, and I asked him, I said, can I do a podcast on you? He's like, well, what are we going to talk about? I said, hosting these kids in the program. So this way you can let families know what exactly we do in case someone else wants to be a host, mom or dad or, family. But yeah, so.
That's beautiful.
I'm a woman of many things.
That's awesome.
I just believe in putting other people first, or looking out, because I didn't, how when cultures are different, I might not understand your culture, I might not understand mine. However, when my daughter went to Taiwan, it really made a difference, because now I see how important it was for me to host these kids, because somebody else hosted my kid. And I was like, wow, okay, I get it now,
Tell me about what was it that made it fulfilling for you when you did that?
The fact that I have a success rate. Everybody that stayed with me graduated from high school and went on to college. The fact that I was able to be their mom when they were away from their mom. So I'm taking you to the doctor. If you're sick, I'm doctoring on you. And they call me mom. They don't call me Erica. They don't call me anything else. They call me mom. And still to this day, when they call me on my cell phone or through WeChat, they're saying, hey mom, hi. So that was a feeling. And secondly, their parents was grateful that I was there for their children, and they're many miles away. So that was a good feeling to know that I was appreciated for doing what I do.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah. So So you left Ghana, you came to America and went to Saginaw Valley. And was it a hard struggle while you was in college? You know, how deep was your struggle?
Financially, to some extent, because of the cost of college, being an international student.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of financial struggles that I had to overcome, which is okay. Academic-wise, like I said, it was just all about being smart about how I study. Okay. So for me, it was always, I did this and I still do this to this day. I go to class, and then right after class, I do all the homework.
Okay.
Because I just got everything fresh, I do it, and then so I go home, I don't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of group studies through college, and that got me always going ahead of the class. And whenever you do group study, you build off of each other, teamwork, and so you always stayed on point. So even though I was doing well, it wasn't because I was working extra hard or doing extra. It was just being smart about how I study.
Yeah.
And that was really tremendous. It was helpful because if you have a 70-page paper to present for my MBA, here I am with 3 or 4 people that have the same load of work, and we are just doing research together, typing together.
Yeah.
It felt like, you support each other.
Yeah.
And that's how I got through college. It's just working with other people and helping each other out.
So the 70-page, was that your dissertation?
Well, yeah, there was a little more than, but yeah.
Yeah. So you wrote a book.
You could say that.
So that means you could be a book writer. You could write a book.
No, yeah, I can write a book, and it's not something that I know it's beyond me. I will write a book.
Mm-hmm.
I will write a book.
That's right.
I will write a book.
Because I'm going to be looking for it.
No, definitely.
I'm the motivator. That's what I
Awesome. I'm glad to have an accountability partner. No, I will. That's why I'm putting it out there, holding myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of things. I write mostly every morning.
Okay.
I like to get up around 4:30, even though I have to start work at 8. I get up around 4:30, and I've done this for the past 2 months very consistently.
All right.
And then I just write 1 page.
Okay.
Of anything that comes to my mind.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be. Sometimes I write about things that I think about, and sometimes I write letters to my wife. You know, when we are going through tough times. Sometimes I just write, just generally. And even when I do book writing, I don't know if I'm ready yet, but I want it to be substantial. Okay. But I do that 1 page a day to prepare myself down the road when I'm ready to do that.
Well, if you ever want to go to some seminars, book publishing seminars, they're free. I have a wonderful coach that I can refer you to.
Okay.
He actually goes to church with me.
Okay.
He's Brother Jesse Cole. And last weekend, actually, Saturday, I attended a book publishing seminar that he hosted, and it was phenomenal. Wow. I learned a lot of things because we all think to write a book, just like the podcast, that we just sit in front of the camera or you just write your words down on paper. But there's so much more that you have to know the behind the scenes. And then we also have the misrepresentation that we have to have this big company to hire us and publish our book. Is actually something you can do yourself. And his program gives you all the necessary steps and tools that you need to know to publish your own book.
Okay.
At low cost.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, all right.
Yeah. So definitely, that is going to be one of my the things that I do down the road.
All right, now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking for the book.
Okay.
Yeah, you can teach me some more stuff about accounting, so I can handle all these millions that God is gonna set.
Amen.
In my bank account. I'm calling that into.
Amen, man. Yeah, it's gonna come to pass.
Yes, absolutely. And so I read about the grant that you received when you was in college. But can you tell us about this grant that you got?
So in the United States, right? There's a lot more opportunity here whilst you're in college than you will find mostly in developing countries, especially from Ghana. And so one of the things I realized when I transferred here was that I had access to more when I came here, and one of them, not only scholarships, but grants.
Okay.
And so I realized that I need to take advantage of it. And knowing that I come from a country that is a developing country, there's a lot more problems.
Okay.
Right? And so that means there's a lot more opportunity.
Right.
So, it was just about finding the right opportunity to work, do something positive to impact my country. So when I saw the grant, I know the grant gave up to, I think, 10,000.
Okay.
And even as at the time when I applied, the history of the grant, they hadn't given more than 1,500 because no student had applied more than that amount. When I saw that the maximum amount is 10,000, I went to talk to my professors. I did a little brainstorming to decide what to do, and then I decided on doing a project to help women in Ghana that were, I'll call them minor entrepreneurs. Okay. And I only use the word minor in the sense of the economic size of the business they do. Okay. Not minor as in they were less of entrepreneurs. Right. But these are women that have a small table. They sell vegetables, products, anything. Right. And that's all they do. Okay. And then they work 10, 12-hour days. They do that every day, 7 days a week. And some of them were 25, 35. The average was about 25 years when I did the market research. And my goal in that research was to find out ways that I can help them take their businesses from just a tabletop business to another level. That's number one. Because if you can do something for 25 years and never move it forward, yes, there has to be something. So I call it the glass ceiling. So helping the women shatter the glass ceiling. Yeah. The other goal was also to find out actually how are they able to sustain for that long, even though they are not growing as a business. And so that it was something that I was researching to help them, but also researching to understand what they are doing and how they do. And it was a really successful research. I was able to come up with some ideas to train them and to help them and to develop their entrepreneurial skills so they can actually get to the next level with their business. But more importantly, I learned way more than I thought I thought I was going to go research and help them, but I ended up learning more than I gave to them. So it was a win-win situation. I ended up getting more from it than I thought, but it was a great experience. I presented at a few colleges around the country. Yes. The most significant of the presentation was the Clinton Global Initiative University, which is Bill Clinton. That was his legacy work after he was president. Yes. And it's a Clinton Global Initiative. And then the university is for students that are doing something around the world to make a difference. Okay. And you apply, and then if you get accepted, they fund your trip. You go, you meet thousands of other students doing the same thing. You share ideas. And it was a very beautiful, wonderful opportunity to get together with other people doing different things. And so
any of the women, do you have any success story, like an individual success story of a woman that you were able to help elevate from being on the tabletop to manifest into
I would say that I didn't track them long enough to be able to have that. But my biggest success story was by the time that we were done, we were able to match them up with different microfinancing institutions that were actually there to help them more than take advantage of them. Because that's one of the challenges most of the women face, is they get access to financing, but those financing opportunities are there to take advantage of them. So just being able to steer them in the right direction, I believe, was one of the greatest successes. My hope was that after school I was going to go continue doing that. Things kind of turned out differently for me, and I couldn't move into Ghana because I think when I was done with my master's, with my MBA, that was when my first child was coming. So there was no way I was going to move to Ghana. So just starting a family and everything kind of changed my direction a little bit. Yes. But that's why I do what I do now, helping small businesses, because it's from all of that experience that I draw a lot of wisdom from to be of support to small businesses.
You don't know, you've helped me so much already. And I'm like E.F. Hutton, when you talk, I'm listening, which is
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
That's funny. So, does that same research apply to women in the United States other than me? No.
Well, it's a good question. I think in different ways, yes and no. Of course, being an entrepreneur, you are running a business. So I don't think it's just even women, even men. The only reason why I use women in that context were, if you go to that market, and most of the open markets in Africa, about 90, if I'm not exaggerating, 90% of the sellers there are women.
Yes.
You see some few things that men are able to do, but mostly it's women that dominate. And so the focus was for the women because I believe they were the key to the economic transformation. But I think the lessons and the research findings applies to all businesses.
Okay.
Right. Applies to all businesses, and every small business needs to be able to understand some fundamental things.
Yes.
When you are doing the business, before you start a business, and even as you grow the business, because without having a total understanding of what you are doing or what the time commitment, the financial commitment, the different levels, the leadership that you need, you realize that you can be making money but you will not be seeing your profits, or you can be making money and then the business is still failing. Right. It can fall in so many other ways.
So you gotta have it projected out.
You have to have a very it's like a full diagnosis of what you are doing, your expenses, your income, how do you secure the income on a residual basis? Yes. How do you make sure that the business is sustainable over a long period of time? You have to ask the question of the human resource. Who do you need? What skills don't you have? Where do you lack in terms of skill set that you need to replace? Because and the thing is, the bigger businesses, most of the big size businesses, they can afford to hire people, specialties, and hire consultants. Right. Yeah, but small businesses don't have that opportunity. So it's like a one person do it all. Yeah. So being able to do a very good diagnosis of your business and building a strategy that can move you from just a surviving small business to a thriving small business, it's a very important step to do, a step to take. It's a very important analysis to be able to take. Because without that, you'll probably go in circles for quite a while. Right, and spending a lot of money. And you lose a lot of money doing that. Yeah, so that's good though, because I know a lot of people want to jump, because Steve say jump. Les Brown say you don't have to get good to get started, but you got to get started to get good. And so that gets us all motivated and pumped up. But I guess part of the story that they left out is you got to do your research when you jump. So you're jumping and you're doing your research at the same time. And so that's good advice for people to know. Definitely. And so we're going to take a little break out for our time, out for our sponsors. Okay. And then we come back, we're going to talk more about your services and what you do, so the viewers can learn more about what you do and how it can help them. All right.
Running a small business can be exciting but very challenging. Most people start a business because of a passion they have, but they soon realize keeping up with invoices, tracking revenues and expenses, staying organized, and marketing and sales support can be extremely chaotic. I see you nodding your head. At Globadigm Consulting, our mission is your success. We focus on all the things you don't want to do, so you can do what you love to do. After all, that's why you're in business. We offer a wide range of services, including bookkeeping and financial services, branding and marketing services, business strategy and mastermind sessions. So get in touch with us today for a free 30-minute business consultation and an expense tracking worksheet.
Well, we're back from our break, and you guys got an opportunity to view our sponsor for today. And so now we can pick up where we left off. Okay. And what I wanted to know is, you have a degree from Saginaw Valley State. University. So tell me more about what your degree is in and how that ties into the work that you do. Yes.
So my degree is so my bachelor's is in economics. So I have a master's in finance and I have an accounting degree. So I do more so financial strategic planning. But my company, Globadigm Consulting, is a team of people. We have a marketing expert on the team. We have a project manager on the team. We have another accountant on the team. So what we do is we give an all-round support to small businesses. And then when we do our strategic planning, it includes both the financial component, the marketing component, and all the other components based on what kind of business you're running. But yeah, my core area is in finance and accounting and also financial strategic planning. And I also have worked for almost 3 to 4 years as a financial planner and advisor, and still do it for some individual families.
Oh, okay. So you help the small businesses grow, and you help the big businesses grow even more.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I do have a curve though for with the size of businesses.
Yes.
Depending on how big your business is, I may be able to do a strategic planning with your business, but I try not to go too big.
Okay.
The reason why is my passion is small businesses.
Okay.
That's my focus, that's my target.
Okay.
I want to help the people in that area where, they are doing well, but they it's like I was describing the women. It's like they just need a little bit of structure to take it to the next level.
Right.
And also for all those that are starting. So I would say small, medium, but I don't really subscribe to large companies. But I will do sections of a large company if they need strategic planning done in a certain area within that company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so again, you say the strategic planning. And so let's use an example. If I owned a t-shirt company where I made a t-shirt and I think it's a great t-shirt. Everybody would enjoy wearing this t-shirt. Mm-hmm. How would this strategic planning help me in being able to grow my business?
So with a strategic plan, whenever I talk to people, this is what I say, and I hope it makes sense. First of all, for any business, you need to be able to identify, where you are.
Okay.
For example, when you are going to work, right?
Yes.
Imagine going to work and not knowing where you are heading from. You don't know where you are now. Let's say you are lost.
Yeah.
What direction are you going to go in?
Yeah.
You need to have a point of reference. Before you can move in any direction, you have to have a point of reference. That's why it's so hard when you're lost in the middle of the sea, in the ocean.
Yeah.
You get confused because you don't know what direction to go to head the right way. So knowing where you are now is important. So if you want to start a t-shirt business, there's the first part of the strategy session is really asking you a lot of questions. How many are you selling? How did you get started? What kind of business have you registered?
Right.
How much money is coming in? Who are your customers? Where are they located? And a lot of people, they don't even know this. So we have to dig with them and help them to be able to get the details. Like, do you know the location? Do you know why the people who are buying your t-shirt?
Yeah.
Do you have an understanding of what they are buying into? Because, so being able to first help you understand where your business is.
Yes.
Now, when we've identified that, then we ask you, what is your dream? Where do you want to take the business?
Okay.
How much money are you looking to make? And then now the strategic planning itself is drawing the bridge or drawing a plan between where you are now and then where you want to be. And then we give you a path to get there. Okay. So that's when we tell you, okay, now you are doing this. These are the markets you need to target. These are the people this is where you need to invest your money. These are the places you need to cut spending. This is how you need to increase your revenue. This is how you need to, these are the people you need on your team to be able to work on a daily basis. And so we be able to kind of identify all the loopholes, all the challenges you're facing, all the things that are holding you back, devise strategies to get rid of them, and then kind of help you map out a very clear path to get into where you want to be. And so far, one of the most beautiful things about this business that makes me like it a lot is every time we do a strategic plan, it takes 2 days.
Yes.
The least one it took a day and a half. Is the fastest we've ever gone.
Okay.
But the excitement, or the feeling of satisfaction, or the feeling of relief that you see in the client's face,
right?
It's really beautiful, because then it's like a feeling of, okay, you are lost, but now you know your way out.
Right.
You know where you are going exactly. You know how you are going to get there. You know exactly where you are investing. You know exactly how much it's going to cost you. You know exactly what it takes to get there, and you don't feel the stress of not sure. It brings your certainty level to a certain, to a very high level, where it helps your business move forward.
So does strategy planning, is that something you can do when you're in the process of creating your business plan? Does that help go along with your business plan, or would you already have your business plan created and this is something that comes after?
I believe that business plan, you create a business plan as you do the business.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So it's very interesting how a lot of people, we are used to the concept of sitting down and imagining all of these numbers and everything.
Yeah.
That is one way to go, but that always never works out that way.
Okay.
You can build a business, and that the process of building your business is your business plan.
Okay.
Right. But when I talk about strategic planning, it's a very different thing from the business plan.
Okay.
Because the business plan is just a document telling you, Strategic planning is more so like a diagnosis.
Okay.
It's like going to the doctor and getting diagnosed, right? You do a very detailed diagnosis of, because when you are at a conceptual level, let's say you just have a concept of a t-shirt business.
Yes.
And you do a strategic plan. Probably the first thing is, let's test it out. That would be the strategic plan. How do we test out the market? What do we do to make sure to know who is going to buy and who's not going to buy?
Right.
So the strategic plan is more so it's more diagnostic. It's not just a paper. Okay. It's more of a pathway.
The pathway.
So if you are at a conceptual level, what we do for you is going to be totally different from somebody that's already running the business.
Right.
Because you're already running the business, we have data, we have information, we have things to go off of. If you are not, then we have to go off of what other people are doing, but we still have to make sure that in your own space, we create a pathway where you can still be able to have a better understanding of what you are doing without spending too much money or without losing too much.
So if my t-shirt business was booming at the local flea market and everybody was coming to buy Erica's t-shirts, okay, somebody can make one of those, by the way, but anyway, but they're coming to buy Erica's t-shirts, and I'm like, I'm the man, well, I'm not the man, I'm the woman, and I think that I can grow my t-shirt business to be this global t-shirt company. How will we go from being at this table where I'm getting a lot of sales to know which direction I'm going to market it in so that I can grow the t-shirt company?
And that's good. So it's the same process. We do the analysis. We have to understand why it's growing, how it's growing, but you need to understand your time. Okay, if you want to go global, what is the time commitment? Okay. You need to hire more people.
Yeah,
it's a lot more thought process, but it's always the same 3-step. Okay. Know where you are, identify where you are going, and then let's draw a plan to get you there. Okay. Let's devise a pathway. So it's a 3-step process, regardless of where you are in your business.
Okay.
Where I am right now, where do I want to go? And then you put it in your GPS, and the GPS takes you there. And it's interesting. Think about it, when you have your GPS system, right? And then you put in a map. The first thing it says is from current location to the map, because it wants to identify where are you going from. Because even the GPS cannot direct you unless it knows where you are.
Right.
Now, most phones and most GPS systems automatically locates you.
Right.
So we don't see that process, but that's always the first step.
Yeah.
It has to locate where you are, and then before it can draw a map to where you are going. And so, it first has to locate where you are. But then when it locates where you are, you have to tell it where you want to go.
Okay.
And that's the strategic plan. That's basically what we do.
Okay.
We just diagnose your current situation, find out where you want to go, and then we build that path to get you there.
So if everybody walking around with Erica t-shirts, that means that you gave me a good path
Yes.
to get there.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I ask you, and I ask all my guests that will be coming on the show that has a business or a service to put together a package at a discounted rate so that when the viewers and the listeners call Globadigm and say, Erica Gillis from One Step Beyond You referred us to you, that they feel the love that I have for them. But can you share with the viewers the package that you put together, please?
Well, so what we, my team and I have done very uniquely is we've done two things that I believe will be very valuable to every business that reaches out. Number one is we want to provide an hour of consultation. And that initial consultation is very key because that is where you'll be able to recognize what do you need in the immediate term. Do you need to immediately have a strategic plan? Do you need to immediately, that hour, the goal is to give you what you need in the immediate term to be able to understand how to grow your business. So it's an hour of free consultation regardless of which area it is.
How much does it cost?
Well, so right now our rate for most small businesses is about $200 an hour.
Okay.
And that's what we actually do. For every strategic plan is $200 an hour. And we've been very gracious because, like I told you, my goal was we want to help small businesses.
Right.
Consulting is one of the most expensive practices, but we wanted to make sure that what we offer, one, is more valuable than what we charge, but two, small businesses can actually afford it.
Right.
Because the challenge is you can pay $20,000-$30,000 for somebody to come in and help you.
Right.
Because you are starting off.
Right.
And so we actually stay at a very affordable rate at $200 an hour for our consulting services. But then, like I said, I'm giving that hour of consultation for free.
For free.
For
free. Y'all get some for free. See, I got clout in this game. Y'all better stick with Erica.
And so that would be the first thing. And then the second thing is I have a design financial sheet that I did with Excel. You can use it on Excel or Google Sheets, however people are comfortable with. Or you can even have a printed version. I recommend the electronic version because it does all the calculations for you. But we will give a financial sheet that does your income, your expenses. It also auto-calculates all your cash flows and then your conversion costs for the businesses that deals with a lot of customers. It helps you understand how much it costs you to make $1. So you understand where how your business is running. And it does that all automatically. You just have to put in a very minor information and then it will be able to do all the calculations for you. It's very good. I give it to a lot of the starting businesses that are not able to afford accounting softwares and all of that, or don't have the technical ability to even get to it themselves and the time. If you want to do it yourself, it's one of the best tools out there that a lot of the small customers that I've worked with, that I started them off like that. Because even for when we do the financial analysis, we need financial data, and it's very easy to use, very easy to do, and then people are able to use it. And so when as the business grows, then they can switch from that to an actual accounting software, and we will be able to help them do that.
Now, how much for this Excel spreadsheet?
Well, so it would take a typical person about 5 hours to design the sheet. And for someone to design it for you, so that's about $1,000 because if you keep the rate about $200 an hour, that's about $1,000 just to work on a sheet like that for a business. So that is something that I have taken the time to do, and that I'm giving out for free.
Oh, you're giving it for free?
Yes.
Wow, we got 2 freebies. All right. Okay, y'all better stick with me. We're going places. I like free. No, look. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you, though, for putting that package together.
No, my pleasure.
For the viewers and the listeners, so that when they call you at Globadigm, that they know that they'll be well taken care of.
Definitely.
That's cool. That means a lot. So you talk about that you have a team, and who's part of this team? What does this team consist of?
So it consists of different professionals, right? Having a lot of experience I've worked in a public accounting firm. I've worked with different organizations. One of the most important things that I've learned through my experience is that having people that are specialized, because even though I do small business consulting, I don't know everything. Right? That's why I specialize in finance. Right. So that's my specialty. I do it every day, so I know it and I understand it, and I'm able to play.
Well, they call that staying in your lane.
Yes.
You stay in your lane, right?
And so then I have like 2 or 3 people actually. So 2 here and 1 outside of the state in Florida that are marketing geniuses. They do marketing. They understand social media platform. They really understand how to leverage your platform. They know how to build your promote product, everything. That's all they do. Okay. And so I have and I have other accountants on the team. I have project managers, people that are really good with managing projects and the cost and everything. We work for. We have a lot of our clients in Michigan, excuse me, but we have other clients in other states, Seattle, Washington, we have some in Florida, we have some in Atlanta that we serve. And so we have a team all over so that we can, kind of touch all our clients at different places.
Right, that's awesome. So a full team, like you get a full workup coming to Globadigm.
So with Globadigm, we don't ever, and that's one of our key policies. I try not to make a person jack of all trades. That doesn't work with the team. Our goal is have people that are specialized in different things to work in different areas, right? Yeah. And so so that when we give to the small business, we actually giving them value, right, for whatever they are paying for.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I do want people to know how to reach you at Globadigm, how they find out about you, whether the phone number, address, your website. Just tell them whatever they need to know on how they can reach you.
So, first of all, our website is globadigmconsulting.com, and I'll spell that out as Globadigm. So the name Globadigm is Global Paradigm. Okay. Because I am taking this company global. Okay. And there's a lot of ways. We are already doing some work in a minor way, kind of cross boundaries, but definitely taking the company global. And then so it's a global paradigm. And then our goal is we serve our clients and take them to different paradigms. That's why we call it Globadigm. So global, Globadigm, Globadigm, consulting.com. And if you go to that website, you have all our information. We have a Facebook page, Globadigm Consulting. We are on Instagram, Globadigm Consulting. We have all the different places, social media to be able to find information about us. And then my personal email is kwame@globadigmconsulting.com. And Kwame is Kwame.
Okay, W-A-M-E.
Kwame at globadigmconsulting.com. And I'm very good with emails. I'll reach
you return emails back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I will return the emails back. There's a lot of emails coming through, but I make sure I get through everybody, every time. Yes. So.
Well, that's good to know that you actually are the one that responds to the emails. Yes. Because most people have that stuff vetted first. But to me, it means a lot when I can have that personal one-on-one contact, and so that's why I'm kind of like responding to when people talk to me in Facebook, I'm responding, and in Instagram and whatever, because I think it's important for them to get an opportunity to get to know me. And so when I grow and I can't spend all that time on social media and have to have somebody kind of help me out and do it for me, at least people can say, well, she gave us that personal one-on-one attention, and they feel like they know me, just like people will feel like they know you by being able to speak directly with you. So that's a good practice, to have.
So thank you. Yeah, I hope to keep it up. I know as the day goes by, as your company grows, the email list also grows.
Yes.
So, but no, definitely my prayers I'll be able to keep that going.
Yeah. Well, see, I have a team such as you, and my team, I love them all. Thank you, everybody, for helping me. However, I got an email last night saying I logged into One Step Beyond You email. I created some folders. Can you please clean it up? Because I'm guilty of, when the emails coming in, just leaving them there. Mm-hmm. And they say, you got 5,000 emails and you can't find anything. And so when I woke up this morning at like 4 a.m, I did my homework. And I texted her like, okay, I did my homework. And she was like, good job. I'm like, okay, thank you. But had I known that before I even started business, if you look at my personal email, I got 66,000 emails.
Wow.
And there's no way I can go back and clean them up. So I'll just go back a couple days and get what I need out of it. And maybe I'll send it to a familiar folder. But I've had my Yahoo since like 2003.
Oh, okay.
So I've never, like in 2003, I didn't know anything about folders.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a scam, that it was free. The email, because back then you had to pay for everything.
Oh,
and so I thought that it wasn't legitimate that I was able to log in and get this Yahoo for free.
For free, yeah. Well, I think I've had the Hotmail.
The Hotmail.
For a long time, and it was for free, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I don't know, but I had it for a very long time too. I don't even remember when I had my email. I had my email right before high school.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. So if I had to go back through that thing, I'd go crazy. So I'm starting fresh, even though I still keep it because it's associated with a lot of things. But when it comes to One Step Beyond You, then everybody can reach out at the onestep@gmail.com. Yeah, and I know when I was telling my introduction, I had told everybody One Step Beyond You, but nobody knows how to spell it. So I have to clarify that, such as yourself. Yeah. It's the number 1 step beyond in the letter U at gmail.com. So everybody know how to reach me now. But I was reading that you were heavy into philanthropy work.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know more about the work.
So what I do with that is I volunteer some of my time with the Accounting Aid Society. As a matter of fact, we just got an email that they are doing an appreciation dinner for all the volunteers. You get to get in touch with some of the people that you advise. I do 2 things for them. I advise people personally for financial planning, for families that are struggling, that are trying to get out, help them plan their finances very well. And then I also do presentations, mostly retirement planning for groups. Like, the last one we did was like a group of resident doctors that were getting ready to get into the profession, so we did a retirement planning presentation. So I've been doing a few of those, and then the individual financial planning too. And that's one way I give back. I volunteer my time to work with Accounting Aid Society to get those things done.
Through a specific organization, or
that is the Accounting Aid Society. So it's the Accounting Aid Society that does the free. When I started with
Accounting Aid Society. Okay.
Yeah, when I started, we used to do free taxes. So I volunteered, started off doing taxes for people for free. Okay. And then I stayed with them to do a lot of work with them. Sometimes I actually go into workplaces to, do presentations on retirement and financial planning to a lot of employees, and we've been doing that. I've been doing it with them for almost 3 years now. Okay. Yes. So
how do people find out this Accounting Aid Services?
I think if you Google Accounting Aid Society Detroit, you'll get their number. And they are very good. They have offices all over downtown Detroit. They do a lot of different financial services for free. You can always reach out to them. Especially for families that are having that want to ignite their financial life, is a good way to get free services.
Yeah.
The only thing they require from you is that you follow up and you are disciplined.
Right.
But they will help you.
Yeah.
And then they have a lot of experts
Yeah.
all over the city to kind of work with you whenever you need the help. And they do every year. They file taxes for free.
Wow, that's awesome. Because, as you said, a lot of people can't afford high-level services, but they know that they need help. So it's good that you're able to help people on both sides of the fence.
Definitely.
See, I knew I liked you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think it's a great place for people to tap into that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And so now you're going to write us a book.
Yes.
You give back to the community. Is there anything else that you do that you'd like to share?
Well, I do a lot. So my whole life, I guess, is more of three things: God, family, business. So that's how my life goes.
Okay.
And that's all I do.
All right. So do you go to church or?
Yeah, I go to church. My pastor is up in Saginaw, Victorious Believers Ministry.
Okay. So
I go to church because we lived in Saginaw before we moved out here.
Right.
So but more importantly than going to church, I believe in God and I like to spend time with Him too.
That's a good thing.
On a daily basis.
Yeah, and when you put God first, everything. That's right. Everything falls into place. But do you drive back to Saginaw every week to go to church?
Initially, yes, but now it's more so probably once a month, maybe once or twice. This weekend, definitely we are going because I have two young kids, so I kind of try to stay conscious of the time we put into it. But
well, you don't have to always drive to Saginaw. You can come to church with us with Pastor Leon and McDonald III and at the Winter Circle Church.
Winter Circle, okay.
Yeah, and Pastor Leon is on fire because I know you've seen him in my podcast.
I listened to him, yes.
And I had told him there's two things I like: the fact that he's relevant, and I like the fact that he doesn't use all these big words and it's like thou, because I think that's the King James version of the Bible. I don't understand the King James version, so I'm glad that they have the versions that I can understand. But the kids, they will enjoy it. They'll be able to understand and get something out of it. Okay. As well as you and your wife.
Awesome.
I know it made a big difference in my household, as well as others. So I always invite people to come. And I remember when I first went, he had on some Timberlands. No, he had on some Nike gym shoes and a Nike jogging suit. And I was like, who is this brother? But when he opened up his mouth and he spoke, the tears just started falling because I was just so impressed, and I got such a great message out of what he had to say. And so I always encourage people, even if you don't come to my church, go to church and get close to God.
I think it would be a great place to visit.
Yeah.
The days that we don't drive up.
Yeah. Because when you come, I'm standing at the front door.
Okay. So that'll be even make it better.
Yeah. Right. And this way I can meet the wife and kids.
Yes.
Because I'm a family person. I believe family is very important, and I like that you put God first and then the family and then work. Because there are so many people that work is more important than anything, and you come home, your wife is broken because she's taking care of the kids in the household and not feeling appreciated, and you're not spending that kind of quality time at home. So in order for your life to be well-rounded and grow, you have to do those three things: God, your family, and then work. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You all right, brother? No.
To God be the glory. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that is like my tradition is I always ask everyone to look into the camera And if it's somebody who wants to be an accountant, or they might be struggling financially and they need help with finance, there's just motivation. Can you look into the camera and tell them something motivational and inspirational that would help them from not being hindered, but just take that next step in life?
Well, sure. So I like to kind of begin by talking about one of my very interesting stories in the Bible, talking about 4 lepers that were at the city gate, the city Jerusalem, and they were at the city gate. Now there was a famine in Jerusalem, so everybody there was going through difficult moments, and so they were all dying. And then these lepers, they were outside of the gates because of course they are not accepted in the society because they are lepers. And they were also going through very severe hunger, so they were dying. And then right in front of them, a few miles away from them, was the enemy. And the enemy camp, they know that if the enemy camp, there's food, there's everything. They know if they go there, they have a chance to survive if the enemy chooses to give them food, or they might die because the enemy will kill them. Now, when they go, behind them is sure death. Where they are is not what they need. But before them is, I would say, maybe a 50-50 chance, or even a 20-80 chance. It doesn't matter, but there's a chance. And what they decided to do, according to the Bible, is they decided to take a leap of faith and go to the enemy camp to find food. Now, the Bible narrates that as they went, the enemy started running because they heard they felt like there was a chariot of army coming towards them. And I guess in that miracle was God used what they had, or however God did it. God made their presence feel like a large army. When they got to the enemy's camp, everybody was gone. The food was there, all the gold, everything was there. They were so excited they ate to their fill, and they even decided to take their rest back to the camp of the Jewish, into Jerusalem, and feed the rest of the Israelite community. But what the moral of the story and the motivation in that story is, in life, going back is never an option, because you can never go back into your history. That's why even your cars have very small mirrors, so you don't spend too much time looking back. Staying where you are, it's not an option, because actually, when you stay where you are, you will never be able to explore what God has for you. But when you move and you trust God, you realize that by taking that leap of faith, by taking that one step beyond you, God can use whatever little is in your hands and then begin to multiply it and do great things with it. And so I will encourage you, whoever is listening, that do not let the giants scare you, because it's not your effort that's going to kill the giant. It's not what you have that is going to be able to overcome the enemy. It's what God can do with what you have, and that is what you count on, the power of God. And so take the little you have. It may not be enough, it may not seem good enough. Just take it and move and watch God do something miraculous with it. Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful. So don't look back. Don't stay where you are, but just move forward, move ahead in life. And I think that's a powerful message. I think I better do that. No, but it's true, and that's the purpose of One Step Beyond You. I want people to know that in life, there's limitations wherever you go. You can have one leg, but should that stop you from walking? Go get you a fake leg and put it on. You have one arm. Is that going to stop you from making a sandwich? Well, you better put the butter knife in your mouth and spread it on the bread. Stop there. You can figure it out. But there's many of us that, even single mothers, you don't go back to school, don't get a job because you feel that your duty is in the home and only in the home because you have children. But you can't let that stop you. No matter how old you are, you can go back to school. And it's important. And men, they have limitations as well. So we don't want them to feel limited to maybe not being able to get a job. I want you to get inspired and get motivated. And if you don't have a job today, get up every day, go exercise, work out while you're filling out the job applications, while you're on the computer. Whatever it is that you need to do. But just like stay motivated, stay focused, keep going forward and not looking behind you. And I guarantee you'll go far. So that was a powerful message. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to watch this podcast over and over again, I just say.
Thank you.
You know? And, but I appreciate all my viewers for tuning in and listening. And there's something that I must say, that the people that was inspirational to me in my life were many people. But I have to give a special thanks to my mother, Martha Presley, because when the road didn't seem so good, she was there all the time, picking me up, cleaning me up whenever I needed, dusting off, taking care of my kids while I worked 2 and 3 jobs, coming over, cleaning my house when I was so tired to clean my own house. But I just want to say, Mom, thank you, and I love you. And one step beyond you did come from you helping me to take that next step as well. So don't ever feel underappreciated.
That's beautiful.
So with that being said, as I leave every podcast, I just want everybody to know that it's important to remember it only takes just one step beyond you.